thank you for joining us as we look at God's Word. This is John chapter 10, verses 22 through 26, and we have finally changed places and audiences. Okay, he's at the Feast of the Dedication. Now, the Feast of the Dedication is the same as Hanukkah, which is being celebrated right now. And of course, we'll be praying also for those victims of that shooting on Hanukkah. But what the Feast of the Dedication was when the Greeks were in charge. There was Antiochus IV, who called himself Antiochus the Great. And he was trying to make everything Greek culture and Greek religion. And he put an image of himself in the temple, an image of Zeus in the temple, and sacrificed a pig in the temple of the Jews. And so he profaned the temple. A revolt broke out. The Jews fought against him, and he finally backed off, and they rededicated the temple. And that's what Hanukkah is, the Feast of the Dedication. Okay. And they have it in the winter because that's what it says here. At that time, the Feast of the Dedication took place in Jerusalem. It was winter, and Jesus was walking in the temple in the portico of Solomon. The Jews then gathered around him and were saying to him, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you're the Christ, tell us plainly." This is very close to the end of his ministry, and he's done all kinds of signs that they have seen, and they've even picked on him because of them, because he did so many of them on the Sabbath. How long will you keep us in suspense? If you're the Christ, tell us plainly. Jesus answered them, "I told you, and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name, these testify of me. But you do not believe because you're not of my sheep." His sheep were the people who repented of their sins, committed themselves to follow him. And so what he was saying to them is, you're not my sheep because you don't want to be. You don't want to believe. Don't keep us in suspense. Tell us plainly. What more did they need to see, and what more did they need to hear? And he already said, I told you. He made it very clear. Go back to John chapter 8, where he said, before Abraham was, I am. Boy, if that wasn't claiming to be the Christ, I don't know what is. And so he did tell them plainly. But have you noticed they're blaming him for their unbelief? Oh, he hadn't told us enough. Oh, he hadn't done enough for us to believe. You go to John chapter 12, verse 39, and it says the Jews came to Jesus and they said, "We want to see a sign from you." Early in his ministry, he said, well, the sign's going to be my death and resurrection. But in this particular case, he said, a wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. Huh? He's saying, they don't believe, and they're always saying, I need one more sign so that I will believe. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. And then he followed up by saying, no sign is going to be given to them except the sign of the prophet Jonah. Just like he was 3 days and nights in the belly of a whale, so must the Son of Man be 3 days and nights in the depths of the earth. That'll take care of it, that sign. And after the resurrection from the dead of Jesus, some of those guys finally did come around. And some of them didn't. Unbelief never has enough. Always says, I need one more sign, and then I'll believe. Well, show me why there are children starving overseas. Show me why there's war. Show me why there's volcanoes. Just show me one more thing, There was one guy that said, if you'll make me walk on water like you made Jesus walk on water, I'll believe you. And he said, and I walked out there and I sank. The last time I checked, you don't tell God what conditions he's supposed to lay down so that you can believe in him. Last time I checked, the Creator makes the rules, not the creature. You don't say, God, you got to do this and you got to do that, or I won't believe in you. God says, too bad. I'm in charge here. you're not. He is Lord. Whether you surrender to him or not, that's your business. But you don't lay conditions upon God. God, show me one more sign and I'll believe in you. I've told you enough. It's a matter of your heart. Well, I'm done. Have a great day.